When you really think about it, money can only buy you two things: material possessions or freedom. If you're fortunate enough to have a lot of money, you can afford both. But for most people with an average income, you can't have it all. You're forced to choose between stuff or freedom. And for the majority, the decision seems obvious: spend money on things. Though it may sound odd to say aloud, when we observe societal behavior and spending patterns, it's clear we place a high value on acquiring nice things while giving very little thought to investing in our freedom. The reason for this isn't that people don't value their freedom, but because we've been fed a consumerism narrative for so long that we associate buying things with living a happy, abundant life. The truth, however, is that this consumerist path often leads to the opposite of what people expect: a life of struggle and scarcity. In contrast, a life of true happiness and abundance is found when you start using your money to buy freedom. When you choose to stop prioritizing stuff and instead focus on securing your freedom, you unlock numerous benefits that can lead you toward a more fulfilling life. In this video, I'll share 7 benefits of choosing freedom over material things. We're really close to reaching 1,000 subscribers, and your support can help us get there faster. Let's dive in. Number 1. Your past does not dictate your future. As I just mentioned, many people buy things over freedom, thinking it will bring happiness and abundance. Yet the reality often leads to hardship and lack. One reason for this is that when you spend money on things, you're often left fixing bad financial choices you made in the past, leaving your present-day self burdened with problems to resolve. This forces you into a life of regret, where it's difficult to live fully in the moment. You end up with more stress, saying no to opportunities, and falling behind more easily. However, when you prioritize buying your freedom, you avoid making decisions you'll later regret. This allows you to live in the present without constantly having to correct past mistakes. A major benefit of choosing financial freedom is that you can enjoy life in the now, without the weight of past poor choices holding you back. Number 2. You no longer fear the future. As I mentioned earlier, many people use their money to buy stuff because they believe it will bring them happiness and abundance. But in reality, it often leads to a life of stress and scarcity. The first reason for this is the need to constantly fix mistakes from the past. But another major reason is the constant anxiety about the future. When you're always focused on correcting past financial missteps, it not only steals your present moment, but also fills you with fear about what lies ahead. You feel like you're always falling behind, unable to make any real progress toward future goals. However, when you prioritize your financial freedom and make smarter money decisions, the future becomes less intimidating. You're actively taking steps that will benefit both your near future and long-term plans. So, one of the biggest benefits of buying your freedom is that you face the future with more confidence. By preparing financially, you create a clearer, more optimistic vision of what lies ahead, rather than living in fear of it. Number 3. Your finances are decluttered. Choosing to buy things over freedom leaves you trapped in a cycle of regret about the past and fear for the future. This makes it hard to focus on the present, resulting in financial chaos. Debts pile up, bills fall behind, and your money situation becomes scattered. In contrast, when you prioritize financial freedom, your finances are simpler and more manageable. You can stay on top of them more easily, preventing the mess of debt and overdue bills from overwhelming you. This simplicity brings a sense of peace, as you no longer need to worry about financial clutter. Number 4. Your physical space is decluttered. One of the major downsides of placing material possessions above freedom is how cluttered your physical environment becomes over time. It's staggering to see just how much the average person accumulates, packing their homes, cramming their garages, and even renting storage units to keep items they barely ever use. Some people actually pay monthly rent just to store things that have long since lost their value. This overwhelming clutter doesn't just take up space, it leads to significant mental stress. But when you decide to stop chasing excess and instead focus on securing your freedom, something remarkable happens. You gain a sense of clarity and peace of mind. Your life is no longer dominated by endless possessions that crowd your space, distract you, and drain your energy. Instead, you're in control, free from the weight of unnecessary belongings. Number 5. You are the master of your time. So what exactly is freedom? At its core, freedom means having more control over your time, being able to do what you want, when and where you want. When you choose to spend your money on things instead of buying your freedom, you're essentially saying that possessions are more valuable than your time. Those things force you to work more, limiting your options. However, when you buy your freedom, you're able to gain more control over your time. You may be able to work less, say no to things you don't want to do, and have more flexibility in your life. And to me, that's the ultimate form of freedom. Number 6. You can take calculated risks. When you prioritize freedom over accumulating material things, you open up the ability to take calculated risks that are more likely to pay off. Financial freedom gives you a safety net, allowing you to make bold moves without the constant fear of failure. With a strong financial foundation, you can afford to take risks, whether it's starting a new business, pursuing a passion project, or investing in something you believe in, because you've already secured your baseline needs. Without the pressure of living paycheck to paycheck or the burden of debt weighing you down, you're in a position to think more strategically about your decisions. You have the time and space to evaluate opportunities, make mistakes, learn from them, and ultimately grow. Number 7. You choose the type of life you want. Finally, let me make this absolutely clear. There is nothing wrong with desiring nice things, enjoying luxury, or striving for a comfortable life. In fact, it's natural to want the best for yourself and your loved ones. However, the real issue lies in the fact that too many people get caught in a vicious cycle, living paycheck to paycheck, constantly chasing material possessions with the belief that they can buy freedom later. But here's the harsh truth. Freedom doesn't come after you've bought the latest gadgets, trendy clothes, or dream car. It doesn't work that way. To truly afford the life you envision, you must prioritize purchasing your freedom first. This means focusing on what will liberate you financially, getting out of debt, building a solid financial safety net, and ensuring your future self is in a secure and stable position. It's not always easy. It requires sacrifice, discipline, and long-term thinking, but the payoff is immense. Once you've reached financial freedom, you're no longer chained to the constraints of a paycheck-to-paycheck lifestyle. You'll finally be in a position to afford not just material things, but the freedom to live the life you've always dreamed of. So don't be lured into the never-ending trap of consumerism, where the pursuit of stuff keeps you from real freedom. Instead, focus on securing your financial independence first. When you own your time and your future, you'll have the freedom to not only acquire what you desire, but to craft a life that's rich in both experience and purpose. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up to support the channel. Here I talk about personal finance, saving money, thoughtful spending, and getting the most out of what you already own. If any of that resonates with you, consider joining our community by subscribing. We're really close to reaching 1,000 subscribers, and your support can help us get there faster.